here in Seattle, trying to avoid the rain a little bit, but I got my swim trunks on because this is an electric stand-up paddleboard. It's called the ElectraFin. It's from Current Drives. They actually make stand-up paddleboards, and then this awesome kit. So it's like $16.99. You get the battery pack, you get this motor thing that works with kind of any 8-inch fin mount. Okay, and they also sell these, so depending on what you've got, you could adapt this. So it works on hard boards, inflatable boards. There's one actually mounted to this stand-up paddleboard. Really interesting. It goes about 5 miles per hour top speeds. It gives you an opportunity to go a little bit further or relax, or if it's windy out, like we're getting a little bit of a breeze today, you can still go out and make it somewhere and not worry so much about getting back home. 2 hours on this. So I wanted to open up the battery case while we're here. Whoop, there we go. There's the lithium-ion battery pack, 15 volts, 29.2 amp hours, 430 watt hours. So, almost half a kilowatt hour. Pretty cool. It's sealed well. It's just a white box that, kind of bungees onto the back, on-off switch, kill switch, just like when you're on a jet ski or whatever. So if you fall off, the board doesn't take off and leave you stranded in the middle of the ocean. That'd be pretty awesome. The other really neat thing about this is the actual control unit, which is this wireless, I guess a little button pad that mounts right onto your paddles. And once the pack has been turned on, you just sort of press this forward button and it starts up in whatever speed you left it off at. You can arrow up here to like level 99. You kind of hear it pretty quiet, just accelerating up to speed. So that's what would be going on under the water. Awesome. I think that's a pretty good generic intro. I think I hit the major points except for this. This is an electronic air pump. So if you've got one of these, Current Drive stand-up boards, or maybe you have another inflatable board, a lot of times you roll it up, put it in a backpack, take it with you. It's portable. That's awesome. But then there's the, the pumping situation. Well, this can run right off of that same battery pack and fill it for you efficiently. So I love that. It's got the jumper cables. Is this for cars too, or something like that?
There's two options. You can plug it right into your car battery, or there's a separate adapter plug that plugs right into the ElectraFin lithium-ion battery pack.
Yeah.
So now, the biggest struggle people have with inflatable paddleboards is pumping them up.
Yeah.
They're awesome because you can bang into stuff. They're easy to transport, but pumping them up is a pain in the butt usually.
Yeah.
So having an electric pump, plugging it into the lithium-ion battery is really the best of both worlds.
Okay. So this is cool, and this is like $100 extra.
That's right.
For this kind of thing. Okay, and because Current Drives has these boards, it sounds like this one's like $900, so pretty affordable. What are the dimensions on this? And
so this inflatable board's 6 inches thick. It's 34 inches wide and 11 feet 6 inches long.
Sweet.
So it's really just a great all-purpose board. It's got 14 stainless steel D-rings going around the outside of the board.
Nice.
So you can mount coolers. You can hook up this kayak seat that we have here.
Sweet.
So you can actually hook up 2 or 3 kayak seats and transform a paddleboard into a kayak virtually, and everyone stays dry. So it's kind of really fun.
Is there a puppy holder? Is there some sort of a
There is. So dogs and paddleboards, we call them SUP pups, but dogs absolutely love paddleboarding because they get this vantage point and it's very fun for them to walk around the board.
Yeah.
A kayak, there's not really a good area for them to stand on.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it can be slippery and stuff. So it's just a really interesting sport. It's kind of emerged. When do you think it was starting to catch on in the United States?
We were just at Outdoor Retailer last week in Utah. And
we're in 2015 August right now.
2015 August, yeah. So at Outdoor Retailer, what they've seen at the Outdoor Demo Day every year is a slow transition away from as many kayaks and towards paddleboards. And from what I saw, it was probably 75% paddleboards, 25% kayaks this year.
Wow.
So it seems like the industry is really exploding.
Growing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got these stand-up paddleboards there for sale. You've got that cool electric kit. I'm gonna hit the stop button. Boom. Pretty responsive. What kind of wireless technology is it using?
It's sort of proprietary, but the motor controllers pulse width modulation.
Sweet.
So you actually have full variable speed from 0 to 100%, and it's very energy efficient, lower speed. So if you really want to spend all day out on the water, you can. Okay,
because we were talking about 2 hours at the top speed of 5 miles per hour. Maybe that's 10 to 15 miles or something, right? Depending on the weight and the situation.
Yeah.
So if you slow it down and maybe you're going 2.5 miles per hour, you kind of double that time?
Yeah, so some of our customers, they've reported 10 to 12 hour run times when they're out kind of trolling, spending a long day on the water, just with a single battery pack. And since the battery pack's swappable.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, we were looking in the box earlier, so that cell can come out. How much are replacement battery packs?
They're $400. So
$400?
Just under half, just like you said, a half a kilowatt hour. It's the Samsung 29E cell. It's a very high energy density cell, and and it's been working very reliably. So rather than
Awesome.
most electric watercraft, like in fishing boats and what have you, always hauling around the 60 to 70 pound
Yeah, like
lead acid
lead
battery.
acid, yeah.
And this is really, we've had a lot of customers that just want to buy just our battery pack to use because they're tired of lugging around their lead acid battery or replacing it every couple of years.
Well, and it's neat that you can fairly quickly take off the motor, take off the battery pack, and then you're back to sort of a standard inflatable paddleboard. And then again, it's like 7 pounds. Like, do you know the difference
the
in
battery
weight
pack's
between
7 pounds and the motor's just over 7 pounds. The whole
Okay,
kit's
so it's like
just,
14 total?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, and then you mentioned a solar panel, because a lot of times, hopefully it's like sunny out, your beautiful day.
Yesterday it was,
and there's
yeah.
something that you've got that can kind of go under these bungees up here and charge it?
Yeah, so we have a 40 watt monocrystalline solar panel that's foldable and waterproof. So it mounts right on the front. We're sold out of them right now. We didn't have any to shop, unfortunately. We wouldn't get very high efficiency today anyways. But
no worries.
But yeah, it's always fun. It's a great selling feature and also a really exciting thing for people to see. Just, solar powered electric paddleboard. I mean,
yeah,
it's
so much fun.
We're finally there.
Yeah, this is sweet. This is very sweet, Mike. So thank you so much. I think we've got like a good rundown on this. I've never reviewed anything quite like this, so admittedly it's a little bit more of an overview going on, but maybe you can tell me a little bit more about where you got these, sort of the motor system, because I'm assuming it's sort of like repurposed from.
Yeah, so this is the fin itself is made out of impact copolymer polycarbonate. So it's a very, very tough polycarbonate with a little bit of rubber added into it so that it can handle bashing into coral and rocks and tough marine environment.
Got the blade
applications.
protector here too.
Yeah, so we have a blade protector, protect marine life and other people in the water. The motor itself is highly modified, but it's kind of from more of a traditional water application motor. So it's got solid O-rings and grease seals and shaft seals. So it's a brushed motor rather than a brushless motor, and we did that because we just really wanted really high reliability.
Okay.
And that's what we get out of these units. So it's it's
well,
really
what kind of warranty do you guys offer?
There's a full 1-year warranty on all the components in the ElectraFin system.
Comprehensive
So
type thing.
any problem like that, they're manufactured here in Seattle.
Really? Okay.
And they're made in a contract manufacturer, which originally focused on kind of torpedo parts and,
Yeah.
and marine and military applications.
This is much more friendly than
Yeah.
that. But yeah, durability-wise, it seems pretty solid, and yeah, just the mounting setup is neat. How would it work if you didn't have an 8-inch? But what is this, like a fin mount is what you called it?
Virtually all stand-up paddleboards now operate with this type of fin box. It's usually built into the board.
Yeah.
And so paddleboards, it works on almost all paddleboards. We also have little adapters to go on certain inflatable boards, and it makes it very easy, kind of just like utilitarian applications.
Do you know how much the board itself weighs? Like, just so we can get some idea?
Yeah, the board weighs just over 30 pounds.
Okay.
And it comes with a carrying backpack and removable center fin. And
so we're talking maybe like 35 pounds in that, and then you could have one of those two things in either hands as you're walking down to the...
Yeah, and we have a separate carrying bag for the ElectraFin, so you can have the paddleboard on one and then carry the ElectraFin like a satchel.
Sweet. What kind of charge time?
It's a 6-amp charger, so for most people, when they go out for an hour usage, it takes about an hour to recharge.
Okay.
But if you go on a full discharge, it takes 3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours, not bad. What about the solar panel though?
Because I imagine puts out 40 watts, so you can troll using just the power of the solar panel.
Really?
And you can travel about 1 mile an hour using that 40 watts of electricity.
Oh man.
So it's kind of fun. You can just bypass the battery pack altogether. Well, customers can't do it, but in our R&D time, we're able to play with it. But it's a lot of fun just knowing you're cruising just using the power from the sun.
Yeah, well, and then being able to top that off if you pulled it up to a dock for lunch or something, and it's just charging in the background.
That seems to be really common. As most people, when they're out on the water, they do spend time hanging out, fishing, having lunch, having a picnic.
Yeah.
So
I heard you say out on the water, so maybe it's a good chance to get out there.
That sounds right.
Like try it out.
Okay.
Yeah. This is awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And by the way, what's the website? Like if someone's interested in
it's
getting...
currentdrives.com.
Yep.
And you can check out all of our products on there. But really, we're focused on the ElectraFin product.
ElectraFin.
Yep.
Okay. Sweet. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Okay, this is my first time on a SUP stand-up paddleboard, and Mike was just teaching me. He was like, keep your hands straight on top and do this whole body maneuver, whatever. So I'm figuring it out, trial and error. I guess this is a good opportunity to just talk about it. He said stay back on the board a little bit so you can turn. That felt pretty good. I got the handle, reached up, extended it, so everything is ergonomically supposedly kind of correct. And then there's the motor system right here. Like this is the controller we were talking about. You push the forward and it goes. So I push that, kind of revs up to power. Look at this, I'm not doing anything, I'm taking off. I'm gonna hit stop here. Whoa! Awesome. And of course you can increase or decrease that speed to get a better, I guess, efficiency like we were talking about. So it definitely like adds some level of like thrill and efficiency to this, because I wasn't able to paddle that fast. Mike, have you ever been able to hit 5 miles per hour stand up?
Not on an inflatable board, that's for sure. Only on like a displacement hole paddleboard.
Awesome. Well, here you go. I'm doing the turn thing. Yeah. Sweet. No problem. I'm gonna accelerate again. This time I'm gonna just sit down, because I think that would be, I like the idea of just chilling out. Maybe like getting across the river here. Forward. I can add some steering power. There we go. Look at that. Woohoo! That's awesome. There we go. There we go. Forward again. I love it. This is awesome. Thanks, man. Okay, I think that's pretty much a good demo, but I am not a very good stand-up paddleboarder, so we might have some professionals hop on here and show us how it's done.
So you can turn all super.
So this is Mari. You're like a professional stand-up paddleboarder?
I'm a professional e-supper, I guess.
Oh yeah, electric. This is awesome. Okay, show us your moves, but be careful, of course.
Of course.
Look at that. She looks a lot more stable than I was. Ah, kind of using the paddle as a fin. You're headed straight for the land! Oh, sweet. That's a nice move. You just like walk right onto the dock.
It makes getting it back inside a lot easier.
This is awesome. Do you have any other feedback about it? I mean, you've used this a little bit more and had a chance to explore on it.
Well, I really enjoy it because you can fight headwinds or strong currents, which is really nice. And also, it makes me want to paddleboard a little bit more sometimes.
Yeah.
And then for the fact that if I have a new friend that wants to try paddleboarding for the first time and they're not at the level that I'm at, then I can just throw them on this e-sup with the ElectraFin on it, and then they can keep up, and that's been really nice. I really like it.
And as I understand it, so we're in Seattle, and that's one side of town over there, and then there's people over here. So people actually use these kind of to commute to work sometimes.
Yeah. There's South Lake Union, which is where Amazon is at.
Sweet.
So way down there, you probably can't see it.
Way down there. Okay. Because that was the thing. It was, you were talking about those days where maybe you're like, I don't know, it's a long way. The wind, it's windy. Now you can.
You
can do it. And I've heard some places you have to have an electric motor to, like, I was just in Canada, and a friend of mine was like, yeah, I'm trying to like paddle to work, but they require you to have an electric motor. Is that the case around here too in certain areas?
In certain areas, what I know is some areas won't even allow you to have a gas motor, but here you can have electric, so you have more places you can actually go and paddleboard with an electric motor if you want.
Are there any licensing or any other, what are the so anyone can do this?
Yeah, most states require, if your vessel is, I believe it's 10 horsepower, then you have to register it.
Okay.
But
how many horses we got here?
It's under 1 horsepower.
Okay, sweet. Horse and a half.
So you do not have to register it. So yeah, you can just jump on and go on your way and have fun.
Thank you so much. That was awesome and sweet move.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I think that's it. I heard some thunder and stuff, so we're going to put this away. But yeah, that was the ElectraFin from Current Drives. For the full write-up on this and some stats and stuff, I'll see you back at ElectricRideReview.com. And of course, paddle safe.